Welcome to the November Mastermind. Thank you so much to all the sweet planners who are on this call right now. And a huge thank you to Claire for joining us today to talk to us about Pinterest for your wedding planner business. For those of you who don't know, Claire actually is the genius behind the Chancy Charm Pinterest, which has really taken off. She's super amazing to work with. She has a team now that's helping her with people's Pinterest, creatives Pinterest. I'm always telling people about her. She took Chancy Charm's Pinterest from like kind of a hot mess to something that actually attracts the right kind of traffic for our site. You know, on Pinterest, you're just getting tons of traffic. And with Claire's help, we've actually gotten dedicated traffic that's the right kind of traffic that we want, people who are interested in our services. So that's been amazing. She is constantly monitoring our account. At one point, got a little bug, which that just happens on Pinterest. And I had no idea what was affecting the business so much. And it was Pinterest. And I was like, oh my gosh, mind blowing how much Pinterest is affecting Chancy Charm's business. So really excited that she agreed to come on and share with us what she's done with Chancy Charm, what she does in general, some of her tips and techniques. Y'all, she's such a self-starter. She's always coming to me with like new ideas, new information. She's so on top of Pinterest, which, I mean, it's a search engine, so it's really hard to stay on top of all the changes. They're constantly updating. She's super on top of it. Just such a self-starter, so self-motivated. It's been an absolute honor and pleasure to work with her. I never wonder, like, I wonder what Claire's doing. No, Claire's like off to the races, amazing. So thanks, Claire, for spending some of your very precious time with us today. I know you have two little kiddos at home and life is crazy and time is limited. So thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you so much for having me. I'm honored to be here, honestly. So yeah, I just thought, thank you for that amazing introduction. And yeah, I can kind of introduce myself a little too, and just then we can dive into Pinterest and everything about it. And I just want to go over like why it's good for your wedding planner business, and kind of go over the basics of like how to optimize your account so that you can then start driving traffic to your website. So I'm just going to share my screen so you can see I have put together a little presentation. So I just want you to be able to see that if we can. Okay, so just let me know if you can't see it at all. I'm just going to put it in present mode. So off we go. So I'm Claire, I'm a virtual assistant. Pinterest is one of the most popular services that I offer. I do also offer other VA services like behind the scene business support, admin, blog management, things like that. And my other kind of newest service is Show It template customization, which is really fun. And then like as Sarah said, I've got two young kiddos, so they keep me really busy. We live in Colorado, so we love hiking, biking, all the outdoorsy stuff. Chocoholic, I love drinking tea, traveling and dancing. So let's go into why you should be marketing on Pinterest. So I'm going to just baffle you with some statistics here, but it's quite interesting, these numbers. So there's 459 million total users on Pinterest today. And that number is obviously growing and growing. 70% are female. Among these pinners, 85% are planning a life event. 87% of Pinterest users have purchased something they've discovered there. 40 million people use Pinterest for planning their wedding. So that's obviously huge and somewhere that you need to be. There are 900 million pins about weddings that are saved each year. Pinners conduct 378 million wedding related searches each year. So obviously these numbers are really interesting. And from a business perspective, this is huge. I'm sure you've all used Pinterest before for searching for recipes or like interior design, planning a party, things like that. From a business perspective, it has the power to drive a vast amount of traffic to your website, potentially more than any social media platform.
Claire, I love seeing this. This is amazing.
It's great, isn't it? So like you can see here how much compared to other social media platforms that Pinterest drives traffic to the Chance to Charm website. So that's huge, you know, it's 92.5% of the traffic comes from Pinterest. So that's great. And then we're just going to look at how Pinterest is different from other social media platforms. So it usually kind of gets lumped in with Instagram and Facebook, but really it operates very differently. So you have to think of it as a visual search engine. So this means that, like, unlike Facebook and Instagram, they want to keep you on that platform, but Pinterest actually wants you to be clicking off onto other websites. So this is why it's such an amazing platform to drive traffic. And you have to think of it as a visual search engine. So it's less about social interaction, more about social, like, search and discovery. So users are in the frame of mind to act on what they see, and they're more likely to make a purchase. And then the content that you share on Pinterest can be shared over and over and over again. So this means that pins can be circulating for like weeks, months, or even years. And we see it on Chancy Charm. There's pins that have been created probably years ago now that are actually still bringing traffic every month. And there's very little work from us, that they're just still coming up in the feeds for people. Another point that I like to make as well is that Pinterest is a really happy place. So unlike Facebook or Instagram, obviously nothing wrong with those platforms, but when you're on Pinterest, you don't see negativity or depressing news reports or anything that might bring you down. It's just simply people sharing. There's no personal updates or anything either, and it's just a place that people offer advice and solutions to inspire people to act. So I love that about Pinterest too. So then here we're going to talk about, when we dive into Pinterest, we've got to consider what our end goal is. So where do you want people to land? Where do you want to direct people when they land on your website? So do you want them to sign up to your email list? Do you want them to download your freebie? Do you want them to join your group, your Facebook group? Do you want them to read your blog post, buy your product? This is something to really consider before you kind of get too involved. And I will say that blogging regularly is strongly recommended. Otherwise, you're quickly going to run out of content. And when I say blogging, it doesn't have to be once a week. It can be just once or twice a month. But as long as you're kind of creating that fresh content and new URLs, then that's going to make Pinterest happy. So I definitely would say, if you're serious about getting onto Pinterest, then you definitely want to be serious about blogging. So then it's also, you've also got to think about your website and how user-friendly that is, as well as your blog. So you want to make it very clear exactly where people want to go to find what they're looking for and more. And this will help you really form a clear strategy that will work specifically for you. So you want to make sure that your page loads fast, or your links are working. There's nothing more frustrating if you're clicking over from Pinterest to your website if the page is loading slow. Like, people don't have time for that. And a broken link is just leaving leads on the table. So you just want to make sure that everything is working as it should.
And Claire, a little promo here. Claire's now doing websites.
I am on Show It specifically. Yeah.
I think as this all spirals into the website. And I love that you're sharing about that.
Yeah, definitely the website is really important, because you know, this is the aim of Pinterest, to drive traffic to your website. And if there's anything that's not working as it should on your website, then people they're just gonna go away and they're gonna just click off really quick. So this is a really important criteria, especially when you're like first starting on Pinterest. I always say, like, look at your website first, and then we can go to Pinterest, you know.
Yes, I love that. That's such great feedback, because I think that, yeah, I mean, if you're not leading them somewhere that's going to help you, like you're leading, like you said, you're leaving leads on the table.
Right, exactly. And so when we're talking about blog posts as well, you want to make sure that it's easy to read. You want line spacing, and font sizes that are large enough to read clearly, and using subheadings and bullet points and breaking up the content. That's really important too. And then adding a call to action at the end of each blog post will give readers a reason to stay on your site. So you can consider all sorts of different things. You can do even like a slide-in opt-in to grab attention. And then when they do sign up to your email list or sign up to your opt-in, you can even kind of upsell to other products and services on the sign up page. Another thing that you might want to consider for your blog as well is that to add video, because people sometimes are more likely to watch a video than read a whole long blog post. So that can keep people on your site too. So then once you've taken a good look at your website, we want to look at optimizing your Pinterest account. So you might already have a Pinterest account, and if you do, and maybe you've got quite a few followers, maybe you've got some content on there already that is relevant to your business. So you can actually just convert your personal Pinterest to a business account, which is really easy to do. And what you'd want to do then is make sure that all of your boards are relevant to your business. So you can make secret any of your personal boards. So I'm sure you've probably got like a recipe board or a home decor board, and you can make that secret and you can still pin to that, and it's not going to affect your business account at all. So that's really great. The other option obviously is also starting an account completely from scratch. And that's fine too. If you want to keep it totally separate, it's really a personal preference. But I'd say if you've got maybe an established following on your account already, then you can just convert it to a business account. And then you want to claim your website, and also your YouTube. If you have a YouTube or Instagram, it's also kind of helpful to claim that too. And that's really easy. That's really easy to do. And Pinterest does give you instructions, and I can always help if you have any issues with claiming your website. Applying for rich pins, that's another step you can take, which it just provides a little more detail and information on a pin. Again, Pinterest has good instructions for that. So that should be pretty easy to implement. And then you want to ensure that your bio on Pinterest includes a strong keyword description with your location, and preferably a call to action. They don't give you too much space on the bio, but definitely want to include some keywords there and a call to action if you can. And then you want to follow high quality Pinterest accounts within your niche. So obviously you're in the wedding industry, you want to be following blog accounts like Martha Stewart Weddings, Style Me Pretty, Gray Likes Weddings, things like that. So the next thing I want to talk about is keyword research. And this again is kind of like the backbone of Pinterest success. It's really, really important that you do keyword research and that the keywords are used throughout your profile, on your pins, your boards, and your board descriptions. So Pinterest actually makes it really easy to do the keyword research. So if you go to the search bar on Pinterest and you type in wedding decorations, and I can actually show you live on Chancey Charm's account too. So if you go up here and you search wedding decorations, ooh, help if I spell that right. So then it's going to come up with, if I'm on all pins, it's going to come up with relevant search terms. It's going to come up with other accounts too, but you want to be looking at these search terms. So wedding decorations on a budget, wedding decorations elegant, and these are the keywords that you want to be using on your profile. You want to make a note of all of these because these ones that come up here are the most popular ones. And what I tend to do as well, you can kind of type A and B, C, and see what comes up. And you don't need to write everything down, but just the ones that, like, yeah, you also have to think about, okay, what are people searching for, the most popular search terms, and what am I blogging about that I'm going to use these search terms to? So I pick out the ones that are most relevant to your business. And it's also really important to focus on the location of the target market you're serving too. So you're not trying to appeal to the Pinterest masses. You can focus down on your location. So for example, say you're a wedding planner in Houston, you want to be using Houston in your keyword descriptions as well. So we can list like Houston wedding venues, Houston wedding photographers, things like that. And this keyword research that you carry out, I would also, I'm going to show you one other thing that I find really helpful is to create a spreadsheet. So you're going to be using these search terms in your boards, in your board and your board titles and your board descriptions. So I just find it helpful to create a spreadsheet, and this way you can you obviously have to make sure that your all of your boards are relevant to your business, and then you can the keyword research that you're doing, I would put them in this spreadsheet. So it just makes it really easy. Then you can something to refer back to, but also you can just copy and paste these keyword terms and copy and paste them into your board descriptions. So it just makes it kind of, I just like doing it this way because it just feels like more organized that way. And then it's just really helpful. So I would do that. And then using your keyword research, you're going to create 12 to 15 boards. So again, you can see the kind of boards that you want to be creating. And it's obviously all to do with the wedding industry. So wedding planning tips would be definitely a good one. Wedding decorations, color schemes, flowers, cake. I mean, you can go on and on and on with all these board ideas. So like I said, the keywords should be utilized in your board names and your board descriptions. You also want to create one brand board. So this is usually your company name, and that's where you're going to pin all of your content. So that's definitely something to bear in mind too. And then skip to the next one. So, board covers. So this is kind of a personal preference. We've done it, again, if I just click out, we've done it for Chancy Charm. And it does, I mean, it's not conducive to success at all, but it just makes the account look more on brand and cohesive. So see here, we've created board covers for each board. So if someone comes to your account, they're just going to see it's just a way to make it more on brand. The other thing I've done here is create this profile cover. I can send you the templates for these. These board covers are actually Instagram size, just so you know. If you don't want to do board covers, it's totally fine. I'd just make sure that you have a high quality image for that, the one that shows up in this cover. And this, if you don't have this, it will just usually just shows like the pins that you've recently pinned. So again, this just makes it just more on brand, but it's not really conducive to success. So it's a personal preference. And then the other thing that is good to do is to apply to group boards. And group boards, usually the process that I take for that is I look at competitive accounts and look at what group boards they've joined, and you'll see if it's a group board, if it has the little icons, the little circle icons on the profiles. You can tell that that's a group board, and in the board description it usually gives instructions of how to join that group board. And another website that is useful for finding group boards and applying to them in your niche is a website called pingroupie.com. So that's really useful. And you can find boards that are active, and you can search for like wedding related boards. And then, when you're ready to kind of tackle Pinterest and now we've optimized the account and you're ready to start pinning, I definitely would recommend Tailwind. Now this does mean an additional cost per month. They do give you a free trial, but it's 100% worth it. It saves you so much time. So it allows you to like bulk upload pins, and then you can add descriptions and then schedule them out to all the relevant boards in a really short amount of time. If you do it on Pinterest itself, it takes a very long time. And Tailwind has all these other features that really help too, such as interval pinning, where you can schedule pins out at timed intervals. Sorry, I don't know why my husband's decided to start banging something. And then another great bonus is...
I was like, is that her or is that someone
No,
else?
sorry, I don't think he realizes that what is called. And then another great bonus is Tailwind communities. So that is similar to group boards, but it's within the Tailwind platform, and you can share pins to the communities, and it just increases the reach of your pins. And you can share other people's too, so it's a good kind of community sharing environment. There's also a looping feature which allows you to repin your most successful pins, so that's really helpful too. And they've also got this new feature called Tailwind Create, where you can actually create pins right on the Tailwind platform and then schedule them out to Pinterest. I haven't actually used that. I tend to use Canva, but I have heard good things about it, so that's another option. So it will, you know, it's an additional cost per month, but it's 100% worth it. I definitely couldn't survive without Tailwind in conjunction with Pinterest. And then the other platform that's good to use is Canva. I'm sure you might already use that in your wedding planner business, but you know, Canva's a lifesaver. I mean, they have all these optimized pin templates, so many templates you can choose from to create new fresh designs, and it's really easy to create your branded pins, so that's definitely a must-have tool as well. So then you're kind of ready to start rolling. So Pinterest strategies for success. So there's a lot involved in Pinterest. I mean, as Sarah touched on too, it's not just like, you know, you're going to start rolling and you're going to have success and that's it. There's so many elements that are involved. But these are the points that you want to kind of stick to make sure that you know, there's a chance that you can have success on Pinterest. So quality over quantity, that's definitely a big point. You want to make sure that you're using high quality images and that you have really good pin descriptions that are not misleading. They want to, you know, entice the user to click over to your website, but it shouldn't be misleading in any way. And leading to appropriate content, like good quality content. When you're starting, you probably only need to pin 3 to 5 pins a day, scheduled through Tailwind, which it might seem like a lot, but let me explain how you can really fill up your queue really quickly. So Pinterest, I'm kind of jumping ahead, but Pinterest loves fresh content. So fresh content is defined as a new image or a new image for an old URL. So like the gold standard would be you write a new blog post and you create 4 or 5 new images, new Pinterest templates to lead to that blog post. And then you're pinning that those 4 pins to multiple boards. So that's how you can fill up your Tailwind queue pretty quickly. So fresh content is a new URL and new images, gold standard. That would be amazing. You can also create new images for old blog posts, so old URL. So that's what we do with Chancy Charm quite a lot as well, is that, we can have a blog post that has been posted before, been pinned before, but when we're creating new pin designs for that blog post, that's Pinterest still sees that as fresh content. So you want to pin at least 1 fresh pin a day, which is, it's quite easy to do on Pinterest, and especially when you're creating new images. And you want to utilize new features. So idea pins is pretty new on Pinterest, and Pinterest is placing quite a large emphasis on idea pins at the moment. So this is definitely a feature that you want to be using. And although they don't allow you to enter a URL, so people are not actually going to be clicking onto your website, they can't do that with idea pins. It does just give you more of a reach on Pinterest, and it's just allowing you to showcase your company in a different way. And I can talk more about idea pins too, and how you should use those. And then you want to keep.
They look like. Maybe you can walk. I'd love to see what they look like. Maybe you can walk us through one later.
Oh, yeah, sure. I will do that. I'll go through the rest of this list, and then I can show you on Pinterest on your account what ideas pins look like.
That sounds great. Thanks.
Yeah. And then the other thing I like to do as well is keep updated on trends. Like Pinterest is changing all of the time, and sometimes it's really hard to keep up. And I found that there's a company called Simple Pin Media, and they've been a really great resource, and they have a podcast and they have tons of blog posts, and it's just something to kind of keep checking back on, to just keep updated on the latest trends. Using ads. Now, Sarah obviously mentioned some time ago when Pinterest took a bit of a dip, and we were kind of freaking out a little bit. And ads was definitely something that we considered, because it does give your account a big boost. And I will say it's a pretty good return on investment. They have been really successful in driving traffic, and it just, it unfortunately, as with everything, money talks, and you only need to set a budget of like $5 a day, and then you get charged for the pin clicks. So it doesn't have to be a huge budget, but you can see some good success if you want to try using ads. The last note is patience, because Pinterest is a long-term game. So, I mean, I always say to people, it's probably going to be 3 to 6 months at least before you start seeing like real success on Pinterest. So definitely want to keep that in mind, that it's definitely not an overnight success.
And that's with everything, I think that's with the site, the blog, all the things like, and that's I, just spoke last week at Wedding MBA, and that's something I talked about was, of course, every now and then you have a unicorn that, that's what happened to me is we launched Charleston and it was an instant success in 3 months. And that was great. But most of the time it's going to take 6 months to a year for something to really, be successful. I'm doing a personal interior design blog right now. And I told Chris, I'm like, I've got to give this at least a year to get started. It's just, that's how it is.
For sure. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you definitely have to be in it for the long haul. And, like with everything, your effort pays off eventually, and it will, but you just have to give it time. So yeah, if you like, I can go back into idea pins, because that is the kind of hottest thing on Pinterest right now.
That would be.
So for Chancy Charm, I create like 2 idea pins a week generally, which I think is probably, 1 or 2 idea pins is really what you probably need to be aiming for. They say that that's the good kind of standard. So, and you have to think like they are similar to Instagram stories, where it's different slides. So if I kind of bring this one up, for example, so you click on it and it will automatically go through the different slides. And what you have to think about with idea pins is you're telling a story. Okay, so you want to like give them little tips and advice that people can put into practice. So they only give you a certain amount of characters for the text, so it shouldn't be that long, and you're just leading them on a story. And with Chancy Charm, I'm taking a blog post and I'm creating it into an idea pin. So you're just repurposing that content, so you don't have to necessarily come up with anything else. But that front page, if I go back to the front page, that's going to be your hook. So you want to, where is it? This front page of the idea pin will tell people what it's about and what they're going to learn from that idea pin. You can also use idea pins for inspiration type pins as well. I think we've got one here, so like just to show off the wedding design, but they tend to work really well when you're using them for advice and tips. So yeah, this front pin should tell the user what it's about, and then it will automatically go into these tips and advice, so they can get the information right there. So that's kind of how you use idea pins. And as I say, you can't put a URL on these, so they're not going to drive traffic to your website, but it is just going to give you good exposure and boost your account overall. Like I've seen, I have another account that I work on, and one of their idea pins really took off, and that was like a great boost for the account overall. And that means that people are more likely to then click on your other pins. So you kind of have to look at it that way.
Yeah, this is such an interesting concept. It's almost like you said, they're trying to do stories.
They are, yeah.
So, they're trying to, take what's been successful on other platforms and get people to stay longer and people on there longer. Interesting. Yeah. And that, I would think that some of these pins, especially that are specific to certain venues, would help attract. I know that we've had success with that on Pinterest. It's like pinning, just like on Google, doing a blog post on a certain wedding. But I like this concept of stories, because you can, like you said, you can share several different images from one wedding, and somebody might be looking for a wedding at that venue and find you and use you. I mean, that happens for sure.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Just because people are getting on there looking for something specific rather than just being fed.
Right, exactly. And that's what you have to keep in mind all the time on Pinterest, is that, okay, what is my ideal client searching for? And
Yes.
that will give you ideas and inspiration of what kind of content to create on Pinterest. You definitely have to kind of tweak your mindset with this as opposed to Instagram and Facebook, because it operates differently.
Yeah, I love that. I love this. I love Pinterest.
Yay, Pinterest.
Yay, Pinterest. That's for sure. I cannot thank you enough for all of this information, and just everything that you shared was incredible. Is it okay if I stop the share?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I don't know how to do it. Oh, let's see. Okay. Because we have some questions. Is it okay if we dive into questions, or are you still?
Yeah, I'm ready. Yeah.
Awesome presentation. It was so thorough. I know it might be a little overwhelming.
It's probably a little bit overwhelming for some people, but
That's why this is a recording. People can go back and maybe they can watch a section, work on it. Watch a section, work on it, because I think that's important. Or they can just hire you, Claire.
or that.
So one of the questions was from one of the planners on the call saying, is it good to share mood boards online? Essentially, her question is she giving away too much? She's building beautiful mood boards. She's a great designer. She's actually accredited. She has a ton of accreditations and just training, and really loves design. So she's creating these beautiful mood boards. She's putting them on Pinterest. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that's great. I see a lot of mood boards on Pinterest, and I think it gives, you as a past bride, you're looking on Pinterest, and I remember, you kind of want an overall look for your wedding. So that, I think, is perfect for Pinterest, because you're going to be saving that pin, and then you might be saving other pins related to all different types, all different elements of your wedding. But that mood board, that is something really, really helpful, that you can save that pin and then be sending that to your wedding planner or any other vendor. That's how I want my wedding to look, So I think sharing mood boards on Pinterest is a great idea. I don't think it's sharing too much or giving away too much. I think that's something that the brides are really looking for. Because, and thinking back to when I was a bride, sometimes it's kind of overwhelming to know what direction to go in. And so having a mood board would just kind of clarify that, okay, yes, I want to, that's what I want my wedding to look like, that's what direction I want to go in. So yeah, I think that's a great idea, and I do see them a lot on Pinterest too.
I also think that, the concept of giving away too much, I actually think that you're going to get more in return for sharing something like that than what you're giving away, because a bride might say, oh, I like that, but I want to tweak some things. This is the person for me. Or I like this girl's style. Or I'm going to start following her. I actually shared a mood board after the wedding on Pinterest forever ago. And it was navy and peach, I think were the colors, or light pink and navy. And it just took off. That board took off. And I got so much momentum and so many followers. So that might be food for thought, is sharing the boards after you've worked with the client, or hey, the client, it doesn't work out. You don't book the client, share the board. It's not so you haven't wasted that time. So I feel like I've gained a lot of followers by sharing stuff like that. In the beginning, especially of Chancy Charms Pinterest, I was sharing the mood board and then all the pins that we used to build that wedding. And then I could also pin that wedding, and it kind of, people could see my process. That kind of helped me. Good for thought.
Yeah.
Let's see. Idea pins have been covered. And yeah, those were the only questions I think we had. I think you covered. I mean, does anybody else have any questions? You may want to pop on and ask a question. I started out on Pinterest, but didn't have the background knowledge to know how to keep up with it. This has been very helpful. Thank you, Claire. I have to get to another appointment. Have a great day. Thank you so much, Amanda, for joining. And I'm so glad that we got this info to you before you had to hop off. Really excited to see you start taking off with Pinterest. I just think it's amazing. And then something that Claire could help anybody on this call dive into even more just the Pinterest ads. I think that's a really great way to get to a targeted audience.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. I mean, you can even start with ads, when you're first starting out, just to kind of test the waters. And it can also help, later down the line if, we've all seen it where sometimes it happens, Pinterest takes a dip and, all the numbers are going down and you're like, no, what's happened? And it could be any number of things, but, if you have the budget for it, then I think ads is definitely something that can help boost your account again. And I think it's a really great return on investment also, compared to other social media platforms too.
I agree. Well, Claire, I think that's all of our questions, and just again, can't thank you enough for getting on. And I think, as we just shared, like, it's a lot.
It is a lot.
It all goes together.
Yeah.
And I love that you hit on the website piece, because this is all for nothing if you don't have the website to lead these pins to. And nothing's more frustrating than being on Pinterest and you click on a pin and it takes you nowhere and you're just like, oh, why? Right. So, making sure that you're capturing that. If nothing else, you're capturing the fact that you've got that Google juice going, because you've got those links back to your site, and Google loves seeing that traffic to your site. It tells Google that you must be really important.
Yeah. SEO is, that we didn't really touch much on that, but yeah, it's huge for SEO too.
Yeah. So like if a lot of people on this call, they're thinking about launching new locations and that kind of thing. If you have a new location page, you can, do the board that's for that location, Houston Wedding Planner, Atlanta Wedding Planner, you see on the Chancy Charm account, and you're having those pins go back to that page and you're getting that Google juice, you're getting that momentum to that location. So I know we've used that, Claire, with Chancy Charm, and there's some people on this call that probably will want to do that as well. But yeah, I can't thank you enough for hopping on and just sharing your expertise. It was so thorough. I love your presentation, the colors, something you said, actually, this is like, I think what I want to end on, because it really says a lot about your personality, but also just Pinterest in general, and maybe why it's such a great fit for you, because you're a happy person. You said Pinterest is a happy place.
Yeah.
And I think that that's so true. And when someone's planning their wedding, it is a happy place. And you're not going to be bombarded necessarily with things that are super negative or overwhelming. You're just on Pinterest, you're looking at wedding stuff, you can kind of zone out. And it is a happy place.
It's great. Yeah. You don't have to be bogged down with all those, you go onto Facebook sometimes and you're like, oh no, I don't want to read about that. And like, yeah, it is, you can just zone out, and that's what's great about it. And
yeah. And her sign in the background, she believed she could, so she did.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much. Do you want to have any closing remarks? Do you want to talk about your services? Why don't you talk about your services just a little bit to let people know kind of what you and your team offer?
Oh, okay. Yeah, thank you. So yeah, I have Pinterest, obviously very popular, but I do also the other things that I do for other clients, like admin based, email management, calendar management, blog posting. So for that, a lot of the time I don't write the blog posts, not particularly my area of expertise, but I love like formatting them, creating pins for them. And then if you have like one of my clients sends me a whole album of photos, picking out the photos, putting them into Blog Stomp. So optimizing all the photos, the SEO for the blog posts, making sure everything has alt text, and doing all the SEO and posting out the blog posts. What else do I do? Calendar management, scheduling appointments, creating timelines, things like that. And then Show It website customization is kind of like my newest service. I really, really love working on Show It. I just really enjoy it, and it's so easy. So I've done a whole like website overhaul, and then I can just do like website refreshes as well. Like I help someone with their blog page and a new portfolio page, things like that. So if you need updates on Show It, love to help with that.
And Show It's great. I mean, WordPress and Show It are the two that I recommend people do if they're a new wedding planner and they're a wedding planner that has an old site they're looking to upgrade. It's like those are the ones that Google favors. I don't know why, but he does. Is Google a person? Um, and so that's really fun that you're doing something that's like beautiful, and also it's search engine optimization, which is so important. And like you said, I just love, like, so you do our blog at Chancy Charm and you put the Pinterest pins in there. And then we're, now using those pins on stories with Instagram. And you and I are working on another brand where it's like, I just emailed you this morning. I don't know if you saw, but it was like,
I did see that. Yeah, I haven't had a chance to respond.
Instagram post and the story and the pin all match, and it all goes with the brand. And I'm like, man, the synergy, like, just so cool how it all works together.
Right.
Oh, and just obviously that's smart too, because you're multiplying your content across multiple platforms. I just love that you've grown so much in like your skill set, and just I love seeing your hunger for this, and obviously your background lends itself towards that. Just just that thirst for like, okay, how do I connect this a little more? How do I better serve this client by connecting this and making sure their site is great? And a site doesn't have to be, for a planner, a million pages. It can be a homepage and a blog, and that's enough. So it's really, really fun and really cool to think about the ways that you could help somebody really take their business to the next level.
Yeah, thank you. And I will say blog as well, like blogging is really important, and I know that is definitely difficult especially when you're in a busy period, but that's also something that I would strongly recommend, that again, it starts with a good website, but also you do want to have a blog, for sure, when you're looking at Pinterest too. It's just, otherwise you're just going to quickly, there's only so many pins you can create that lead to the certain type, and Pinterest is going to get bored with that, so you want to make the search engine happy, so you want to be creating those new URLs and everything. So and that's how, like I say, my business is involved, because I feel like it is all interconnected. It's like blogging and websites and Pinterest all kind of get lumped all together and create success, in the long run.
And one of the things you've done for me that I love is you created a list of blog post ideas because of your search engine, abilities, and the ability to go on and kind of search and see what our target client's looking for. And that's been really great because, as a one-off business owner, it's great because it gets my mind thinking. It's easy for me to write the content, but it's great that you can have the idea, tell me what people are looking for. You can come in, you can make the Pinterest pin, the graphic, you can get me set up and going on the back end. And then for my team, as someone leading a team on this call, I take your ideas, and we've done this before. You've given me blog post ideas, and I just shoot them over to the team, and then they all give their advice. And the post is actually a culmination of everyone's advice in the team. And that keeps me from having to write a blog post.
Right. Exactly.
And then they're all excited and they're all sharing it. It's like that abundance mindset, right? Of like, I'm going to give it away, and then it's going to multiply itself and bless everybody, including Chancy Charm. It's just like fun.
Yeah. And you can, you've interviewed vendors before, like that's not having to write a blog post either. So there's definitely multiple ways that you can get around it and share content without doing too much work yourself. And I'm happy to give blog post ideas, because I'm on Pinterest all the time, that I know what works well and what people are searching for. So
invaluable.
And the other thing I did want to note is that you saw the spreadsheet that I created for wedding planners of board ideas and board descriptions. So you can, so I can give you the link for that if you want to sign up for it, if people want to sign up for that, because that will help get you started on Pinterest. I'll drop the link in the chat here.
That's a great thing to start selling or do as a freebie, because that's just so invaluable. When I saw that in the presentation, I was like, oh, gold.
I mean, that's going to save people a lot of time, I feel like, and just, yeah, give them the ideas of what kind of boards to create.
That link is awesome. Yay. Claire, thank you so much. Do you have any last words?
I don't think so, but thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for leading such a great conversation on Pinterest and presentation. Thank you for the time you put in on the back end to prepare for today. And thank you for your grace about the time.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm just glad I'm here for it, because I was like a little worried that maybe I said 10 my time, but then I was like, oh, we didn't confirm the time. So I was like, oh, maybe I should just be ready just in case. And I'm glad I am. I'm glad I didn't miss this.
God bless you, Claire.